Hey guys, my name is Colton. I'm with Paradise Performance. We are an auto shop and an independent dealership just outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Today I have a 2017 Ford Escape in here, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, and for a basic service, just some spark plugs and an oil change. So come along and I'll show you how we do that. All right guys, so our first step here is going to be removing these pigtail connectors off of the ignition coils. Super simple process. You're just going to get your finger on it, grab it here, pinch down, just pull out. Just do that for all four. And then once you get all four of those off, you're gonna need a 8mm. I have just an 8mm with a small wobble on it. Go ahead and get out these bolts right here and go ahead and pull out your ignition coils. All right, and while you got those out, for the sake of safety, there's gonna be some debris hanging around that area. Out of your best interest, you wanna kinda get that cleaned up. You're about to open. Take the spark plug out, don't wanna get anything in that cylinder. So we're gonna go ahead and get some just slight degreasers, some shop towels, and just kinda clean that area up. Let me know. All right, so once you get the ignition coils out, get the hardware set aside, it's just a simple 5/8 spark plug socket. You know, it's kind of limited getting things in there. So you may have to drop your socket in there first and go ahead and throw your extension in there, but gonna crack these off and then get some new spark plugs up in it. You can pull it there. So go ahead and got one of them out. It's an original plug. We got some NGKs that we're gonna throw in there. Obviously got their usage out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and get some new ones in there and get her out the door. All right guys, so we got some NGK, just G-Powers, basic spark plugs. It's not a hard working motor. So, you know, low compression, you know, not crazy tolerances. So nothing fancy. Just gonna get these in there, get it going. All right guys, so some good practices would be not to drop your spark plugs in the cylinder. Disregarding that, go ahead and pop them in the socket, set them down there gently. Just a good habit. Put them in by hand and give it like 15 degrees of rotation once tight. Don't crank it. While you're out there, crank it. Just kind of grab them all the way down. Nothing too crazy. All right, so we're good there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this little ratchet out, throw in a little bit larger, and just give it like a slight, I don't know, 10 to 15 degree turn max. Make sure it's snug. That's good. It's giving me tension. That tells me all I need. As you saw, all the spark plugs are now in. Gonna go ahead and throw these coils back in. Get them all buttoned down. Go ahead and get it back up in the air. Drop that oil. Go ahead and put it back in. Set it aside somewhere safe. You're not gonna lose it. Go ahead and get your tools out of the way. Get it on the lift and get it up in the air. All right guys, so got up in the air underneath it. I got a few T-Torques, just a T27. Go ahead and zip off this under tray. You'll get access to the drain bolt. All right, go ahead and set these aside somewhere safe. Then we'll get this thing draining. 15 millimeter, just kind of get it on there, crack it off, see how tight the previous oil change was. Another tech. Not too bad. Go ahead and get this up there. Don't want to get it everywhere. Not too bad. So new filter's going in. It's already been pre-filled. It's gonna run up there by hand. You don't have to torque these crazy. Hand tight's fine. The key will seal them up. All right, that's good. I'm just gonna wipe that off. Plug up that oil pan, drain plug, wipe this off. This is the kind of oil drain plug where you don't need a crush washer on it. It's got a rubber gasket. Just clean everything off real good, throw it back up in there. All right, so while you're underneath the vehicle, it's being to your best interest and the clients. Just look at things. We didn't do, not too long ago, we did use CV axles, but while I'm here, I'm gonna measure tread depth on the tires. They're obviously new, but just for the sake of tracking it, letting customers know, and measure the tires, take a look at everything else, you know, see what could need some attention in the future. You know, it's about getting ahead of this stuff, not letting it creep up on you. So we like our customers to drive out of here safe. So this is the tool we use. It's old school, you know, old discount tire tools before they went to scanners. It has millimeters and 30 seconds. Just tells you on there where you're at tire-wise. Generally speaking, anything down to 4 seconds, what I would say is acceptable. Once you get below 4, it's a cautionary replacement. If you hit 2, that's an immediate replacement. So these tires are obviously pretty new, but you know, you put it all the way down, you throw it on the tread, push it all the way down, take it off, take a look at where you're at 30 seconds wise. So we're right at 30 seconds. You can see just on that dash, maybe a little bit above. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate these. You want your best tread on the rear for the sake of you don't want to spin out, hydroplane, things like that. So while it's up in the air, we'll bring it down a little bit, buzz them off, swap them around. Hopefully, you know, keep her safe and try to maximize the tire life. Here in the States, we measure tires by 30 seconds. So most new cars, 30 seconds for like passenger highway terrain tires. You get into mud terrains and all terrains, you can see from like 30 seconds to 30 seconds. Depends on the brand. But she's consistent, 30 seconds throughout. Plenty of life left. These will last her a while. So not too bad. Everything looks good.